count down from three to me?
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Blast off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a very strong 3, 2, 1.
All right, I think we're ready.
We're ready, great.
All right.
You could start just with your name and your jurisdiction and title, please.
I'm R.C. Wise, and I'm the village administrator for the village of Gambier, Ohio.
Perfect, thank you. And we're just going to be asking you some questions. If you could think back to your time as a first-time administrator, and first of all, what is one thing you would advise somebody starting off their first ever job as a first-time administrator?
Enjoy the opportunity and learn to enjoy the moment, and also understand that you don't really have to ask questions in such a way that it makes you think that you have to justify your position. You've already made it, you know. Ask interesting questions that you want to know, and you've already made it. You're already in the room. You don't have to prove to anybody that you're why you're there.
And what would be some tips for work-life balance that you would give to a new CEO?
Find a hobby, something that you can take away your time. For me, it's running. I'm not a champion runner, but I do find time to run a 5K just once or twice a week on my own, and it just kind of clears my mind of everything and kind of helps you just put things in balance and enjoy nature. Anything to get away from the workplace, because the work will never go away. It will always be there.
So 5K, did you run the ICMA 5K?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I didn't win any trophies. I don't expect to either. But it is very fun for the ICMA to run with colleagues. But I also enjoy charitable runs and just running by myself. Yeah.
Cool. Nice way to see a city too. What kind of mentors or advisors should a first-time manager seek out?
I would start next door, neighboring cities, other administrators, be active in the state organization. There's certainly somebody who may have been an administrator in the city or county where you're at, and just lean on them for resources. They're there to help you. Nobody wants to see anybody struggle. You know, even though there are struggles in this business, if there's a way that we can avoid a pitfall, there's always somebody who's had that challenge before and is willing to help.
And what are some ICMA resources that you would find helpful or would recommend to a CAO just starting out?
Go on the website and start plugging in topic areas to see if there's already been a white paper or some type of research, or again, even look for other members of communities similar size or proximity that may have a similar situation.
As a new CAO, did you ever have to manage subordinates that were older than you? And what advice would you give to somebody in that position?
Listen, ask good questions, not arrogant questions, just good questions, and listen. Don't expect you to know the answer. Most people know their department better than what a new first-time manager is, and so just build that trust. You know, understand, recognize that they're the expert on that department. Now you may end up learning a little bit more than they do in certain areas, but for that moment when you're first there, there's nobody who knows more about the police department in that community than the police chief. You know, and don't be ready to make drastic changes right away unless some intervening event would come and force that. I think people would want to give you some time to kind of get settled in, meet other stakeholders, and learn the lay of the land before you settle in on this is the way things have got to change or need to change.
Great advice. What are some emotional triggers that you have to monitor or avoid that you've learned over the years, or pain points, or areas of extreme stress, and how do you manage those?
It's a life learning process, because sometimes somebody will say something and you think it means something that it really doesn't. And for me, I've had to learn patience over the years to actually not look like something upset me, even if it did, because it kind of gets things started on the wrong foot. But just patience, listening, try to stay calm, don't overreact to what's being said to you.
And what strategies do you have to help get you through those days when you just feel like you're done with city management?
Well, for me, it's I mentioned earlier about running, but I also have a small hobby farm. I go out, take care of the animals, just things that are completely within my control.
Makes a lot of sense. And just kind of building off that, do you have any recommendations for how new managers can protect their time with all the demands, newly on them?
Well, we need to figure out whether it's a hobby or family time or whatever, and kind of block that off. Treat that block of time just as important as staff meeting time, or just as important as a council meeting date. You have to block it in. If you don't, it'll get crowded out. And the first thing you know, you've worked 60, 65 hours and not found time for yourself or for your family. That's not good for anybody.
That's actually the end of the questions that we have for the ROB project. Is there anything else any other advice that we didn't touch on that you might want to give a first-time administrator?
Just, again, enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity. I wish I would have known what a great profession it is maybe 20 years earlier. I came from a different background in the private sector, and it's great to be a public servant.
That's wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Great.
That was great.
I felt like I struggled.
No, you did not start at all.
So easy.
Sorry.
Those pregnant pauses seemed like they were thinking of my words, but no, I hope you can use some of it. And
Oh, absolutely.